Hello, welcome to Trigger Tees Canada. I'm Andy. We're out for a walk with the dogs again. Here's the dog. Penny, come here. Penny, what's that? You see that? Penny's found a human heel bone. Well, it looks like a human heel bone, and she's not giving it up for nothing. She's gonna chew on that the whole trip here. But anyway, let me tell you what's got me thinking today. And today, you know, it's you can't seem to turn your back on the government in Canada for 2 seconds, and out they come with some other stupid bill that's designed to do nothing but take your freedoms away somehow or another. And in marches Bill C11. It's the Online Streaming Act. Gee, I wonder what could be possibly hiding in that. Holy cow, it's getting swampy out here. Well, let me tell you what's hiding in that. So it's the Online Streaming Act to amend the Canadian Broadcasting Act from 1991. Sounds awesome. It's going to mandate and provide the CRTC to include the power to regulate the broadcasting system and also support Canadians' creators and artists, creative industries, and ensure that the Canadian music and stories are available and accessible. That sounds so nice. How can we, you're like, Andy, how can you think that's anything nefarious about that? Well, let's continue. C11 seeks to give the government power over the internet. Power over the internet? That doesn't sound very good. That's a lot of power. Internet's a pretty big place. With this new bill, CRTC would be given an immense regulatory scope with almost no limitation. That sounds even worse. It's not getting any better. The government is seeking to move oversight of the internet under the CRTC. Boy, and the CRTC has appointees from the government. That doesn't sound like they could do any kind of collusion with that. Sounds totally innocent. Well, let's continue reading here. What is these guys doing? Oh boy. Oh, they're fighting over that bone. Oh boy. Alright. Getting distracted by them hounds. C11 does nothing to protect the individual online content creator. Small Canadian content creators will be suddenly subject to a plethora of rules and regulations. Okay, that sounded more like the government we know and hate. That they're going to be ill-equipped to engage with. Small content creators will face many more hurdles to being seen online. That sounds about right. And the onus is taken off the government and placed on the individual to prove that the exemptions to the regulations apply to them. Because of course there's exemptions. They snuck that in there. But then they made exemptions to the exemptions to make sure nobody actually can meet them. The government responded to similar critiques of the previous Bill C10 by adding exemptions for individual users. However, these exemptions are subject to further set of exemptions. Users are exempt from the exemptions if they generate any form of revenue. This leads to nothing but confusion. Right? Everybody understand that? So there's exemptions to the exemptions. If you make money, you're exempt. Only if you're exempt. Got it. C11 will also change the relationship that social media companies have with their users. Oh, maybe they'll stop censoring the living bejesus out of us. I've got like 2 videos on YouTube, and one of them's already got yanked. I was only on there for like 15 minutes, and I already got censored. Penny doesn't really care about that. She seems to have her own thing going. So the social media companies are going to be required to promote certain types of content. Gee, I wonder what kind of filth and crap they're going to have to promote. Is it going to be, you know, family unity, husbands and wives, happy marriages, kids getting out on their bikes and getting fresh air and, you know, enjoying nature and studying, you know, math and science and reading and writing? Nope. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, you know, LGBTQ, this, that, and the other, and then some. Critical race theory. The white guy's at fault for everything. It's all our fault, no matter what. If you're too lazy to get out of bed, I'm sure it's my fault somehow. Yeah, marriage, that's terrible. They won't be promoting any of that. That's a benefit to society. They just promote stuff that's a net loss or degenerate society in one way or another. Yeah, and so in doing so, they'll automatically also suppress and reduce exposure to other forms of content. Yep, anything beneficial to society or helpful to the individual in a positive way will be suppressed. Drugs, vaccines, degeneracy, perfect. We'll all move in that direction. But, you know who is happy with this thing? Penny, who's happy with it? Where's your bone? You lost the darn thing, didn't you? That's good. You're probably gonna get the poops from that. The CBC, super big proponents of the bill. They love it. Helps them all to heck. Takes all that nasty small content that is, you know, stealing market share from them because, you know, people can't digest any more horse shit than they already are. It kind of bungs up your intestinal tract, I understand. Leslyn Lewis had a pretty good, there's a good video of her on the YouTube about when she was in the committee.
The honourable member for Haldeman Norfolk.
Thank you. Social media platforms and internet search engines are the main source of news and information for the majority of Canadians. Canadians rely on online sources not just for information, but to share their unfiltered stories and their creative expressions. The internet is a powerful resource. It has made presidents, prime ministers, and even celebrities. The immense power of the internet can be used as a shield or as a sword. As a shield, it is an opportunity for the average person to participate in the media and to be able to showcase their talents without going through big broadcasting networks. As a sword, it can be used as a form of control and a limitation on free speech. Woe unto you if the internet falls under the control and the force of a government that will use it to divide, demonize, and control. We have seen that authoritarian governments have gone so far as to systemically censor and limit thought, free speech, and freedom of press by using the internet. While we want to trust our governments, unfortunately, we have seen that this Liberal government has a not so subtle agenda of controlling and overreaching. As lawmakers, we must resist the desire to distrust and unduly control Canadians in a free and democratic society. We must also resist any government initiatives to try to mold Canadians' opinions and preferences by limiting their online options and opportunities. Neither the Liberals nor any government, regardless of your political stripe, can be trusted to be neutral referees of what is preferred speech and preferred content. The Prime Minister's response to one of the biggest protests of our time is evidence of this. We saw that our Prime Minister refused to listen to legitimate concerns of fellow Canadians, even when those who trucked from clear across the country came to just have a conversation, choosing instead to label people as racist, misogynist, anti-science people with unacceptable views.
Of course, this is already in committee, so it's not too far away. She nailed down, the similarities to what China has imposed on its people, and which the little potato, as the Chinese like to call him, is going to try to impose us. He's going to do exactly the same thing. And gosh, Tucker's way up in the weeds there. Because he loves China. He loves the way they do things. He admires their basic dictatorship, which we've all seen a million times. But what you might not know is that we send China a whole whack of our tax dollars every year, just for fun, because they clearly don't need them. 14.2 million last year we sent to China, which is weird because we have a $1.64 trillion economy and they have a $14.72 trillion economy. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I can kind of see a divergence in those two numbers, and we're on the wrong side of that. If anybody should be sending anybody some aid, should be the other way around, I would think. But she also mentions that, no government, and especially one with the track record of the Trudeau government. What's going on here? Oh boy. Should not have this kind of control over internet. And let's face it, the internet is probably the biggest portal to free speech that the common man has at his disposal. It's pretty amazing what you can put out on there and get people to listen to, and not particularly my channel, but other people are having pretty good success with it. But I mean, he's been cheerleading like a 12-year-old schoolgirl for the Chinese. Then as soon as he got any opposition to his way of doing things via the trucker convoy, he absolutely loses his mind, shuts the whole thing down with his emergency act, has a complete little hissy fit and meltdown, and has no dialogue with anybody. Yeah, that's who we need to manage and regulate the most important outlet of free speech on the planet, or in Canada, at least what Canadians have available to us. Yeah, going downhill. Anyway, what can we do about it? I guess the usual: call your MP, email your Senate, whine and complain, because I don't think we can. Can we even protest anymore? Is that still a thing? I guess we still can. But, see where all that goes in the near future. Anyway, my hand's freezing off and the dogs are pretty much soaked, so I'm gonna have to start heading back. But sure appreciate you guys coming for a walk with us. If you have time, check out our website, triggertees.biz. Got some homemade t-shirts on there. Guarantee they're nothing you're going to find on any other website, because I make them in the basement, because as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm a airline pilot that's on a forced leave of absence. And can you imagine why? Yeah, pretty sure you can imagine why. And I got nothing better to do than to make videos and t-shirts and hike around with these mutts, which is really fun for me anyway. Anyway, thanks so much, and you know, like and subscribe. My daughter told me I don't say that, and I need to say that, so I'm going to say it. Like and subscribe. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I think it has something to do with hitting a bell or a notification or something like that. Anyway, thanks so much. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.